Hello everyone, welcome to Enbreezen, the daily current affairs program by Team Enlight. Today we will be discussing on six major topics, and the first one is regarding India's UNSC presidency. Secondly, we will be discussing about India-Sri Lanka relations. Thirdly, we will be discussing about the Sero survey conducted by ICMR, and we will be also discussing about three major plains topics, that is Europai, NFAI and hunger hotspots. So let's start. The first major news for today is India's UNSC presidency for the month of August. Other important highlights are, firstly, we all know that India is currently a non-permanent member of the UNSC from January 1 this year. And India is also the chair for the Taliban Sanctions Committee as well as the Libyan Sanctions Committee for the year 2021, which assumes significance since the present situation in Afghanistan and its relation to Taliban gains importance owing to the retirement of troops of US from Afghanistan. And the major focus of India in August are mainly on three heads. They are maritime security, peacekeeping and counter-terrorism. India will also be organizing a solemn event on the memory of peacekeepers. And one of the major initiatives that India will launch is the Unite Aware, which is a mobile technology platform for the UN peacekeeping forces that mainly gives information on terrain related information, which will be significant for ensuring their security in the line of duty. And another major fact that you need to remember is that the headquarters of UN peacekeeping operations, which is in New York. And about UNSC, the major informations are, it is one of the major organs of the United Nations along with the other five, and it is incorporated by the Article 23 of the UN Charter. UNSC comprises of 15 members, 5 are permanent members and 10 are non-permanent members. And you should learn by heart about the 5 permanent members, since they will be asked in the exam in the prelims as a statement type question. And they are China, France, Russian Federation, the United Kingdom and the United States. And there are also 10 non-permanent members which are elected for 2-year terms by the UN General Assembly. And one important aspect to note here is a retiring member is not eligible for immediate re-elections. So we can see that India has been pitching for a permanent seat in UNSC for quite some time now. And it is also asked in UPSC mains in the year 2015. So it assumes significance. So some supporting arguments that you can write in your mains examination are given here, like India's population size, which is about 17% of the world's population, its territorial size, gross domestic production, cultural diversity, political system which is democratic, and it is also one of the major contributors to the UN peacekeeping operations. All these are supporting statements that you can use to write your answers in support for India's arguments for gaining membership in the Security Council. Next important news is regarding the visit of Sri Lankan High Commissioner to New Delhi to pitch for investment, trade and connectivity, and as well as for religious exchange. So let's look at some of the major issues in India-Sri Lanka relations. The first one is regarding the stalled projects. We know that the Eastern Container Terminal project, which was initially offered to India, was then diverted to China. That strained the India-Sri Lanka relations. And in return to that, the Sri Lanka has agreed for a Western container terminal project as well as Trincomalee oil tank farm and other important projects. And other concerns that Sri Lanka has is regarding the protectionism in India, the conflicts in Park Bay, where the Sri Lankan fishermen accuse of the Indians for using bottom trawlers and fishing illegally along their coast is also very important. Another important aspect is the currency swap agreement that the Reserve Bank of India has with the Sri Lankan government that agrees to provide about 400 million US dollars as a currency swap facility to Sri Lanka, especially because it is badly hit by the COVID-19 pandemic. And another aspect is the issue of Sri Lankan Tamils who were denied Sri Lankan citizenship since they had the Indian ancestry and they were in opposition to the major Sinhalese group. That led to the LTTE and civil war later on. And the rehabilitation of refugees who fled from Sri Lanka due to the civil war is also one of the major issues. So these are the issues that might be asked as a question in your UPSC mains examination. So looking at the prelims point of view, we have some important data like the joint exercises that India and Sri Lanka has, which is mainly Mitra Shakti, which is a joint military exercise, and we also have a naval exercise called SLINEX. Okay, and you can remember that it's by remembering the acronym, that is SL for Sri Lanka, IN for India, and EX for exercise. So you can easily remember the same. And regarding the international groupings, they have their participation, joint participation in groupings like BIMSTEC, SAARC, etc., where India play a leading role. Sri Lanka also supports India's Sagar initiative, which is acronym for Security and Growth for All in the region, for the security in the Indian Ocean region. Next is the recent serological survey report by ICMR. So you will be asked a question in prelims regarding what is meant by serosurvey. So which is mainly the test for the presence of IgG, that is the immunoglobulin G antibodies in blood, which is an indication for past coronavirus infection. So this helps us to identify how much number of people, how much percentage of population is infected by the coronavirus. So it is the fourth serosurvey was recently conducted in India and the results were out today, and it found that on an average 67.6% of the population has been infected. And you should remember that it is conducted by ICMR, and the ICMR is the apex body for the biomedical research in India, which was founded in the year 1911, and these data are important for the prelims point of view. And next we'll be looking at some of the prelims specific data. Firstly, the NFAI, that is the National Films Archives of India, has acquired over 450 glass slides of Telugu cinema. So talking about NFA, it is a media unit of the Ministry of Information and Broadcasting, which was established in the year 1964. And also note that it is a member of the International Federation of Film Archives. It is headquartered in Pune, Maharashtra. And the objectives are mainly to preserve the heritage of Indian cinema, document data, and do research on relating to films. Another important prelims question will be about e-Rupee, which will be launched tomorrow on August 2nd, which is mainly an electronic voucher based digital payment system which was developed by NPCI. We all know that the NPCI's initiatives, especially RuPay card, etc., were asked in previous prelims examinations, so it assumes significance. So it is also launched in collaboration with Department of Financial Services, Government of India, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and National Health Authority. So how is it different? So these vouchers are just like gift cards, which is person and purpose specific. That is, if you have a e-RuPay voucher for COVID-19 vaccination, then it could be used for that purpose only. So this assumes significance as it helps to reduce the leakages and other issues and other diversion of fund that might be encountered while doing digital payments. And the last topic for today is regarding the hunger hotspot report. So it is published by FAO and World Food Programme, and the major highlights are that hunger is expected to rise in 23 global hotspots on the recent grounds like the recent COVID-19 pandemic and related economic slowdown. And they had put Ethiopia in top of the list. And you must also remember the fact that the headquarters of FAO and WFP both are in Rome. Okay. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching.